Did you know that chocolate chip cookies were actually invented on accident? According to www.delish.com, back in 1938, a 33-year-old woman named Ruth Wakefield was baking a batch of her famous butter drop cookies. When she broke a bar of Nestle semi-sweet chocolate chips and added them to the batter, intending to create a chocolate chip cookie, the chocolate chips held together and the chocolate chip cookie was born. Hello, my name is Caitlin, and today I'm going to demonstrate how to bake the absolute best chocolate chip cookies. In this speech, I'm going to cover preparation/utensils, ingredients, and the steps to making the chocolate chip cookies. I've always loved to bake and would love to be able to share my recipes with people. Starting off with the preparations and utensils. You will need a big mixing bowl, some sort of mixer, whether it's a stand mixer or a hand mixer, a small pot for browning the butter, a baking spatula, measuring cups or a weighing scale, a baking sheet lined with parchment paper, and an oven. And next is the ingredients. For these cookies, it calls for 3/4 cup or 168 grams of unsalted butter, a cup or 200 grams of brown sugar packed, 1 1/4 cup or 50 grams of granulated sugar, 1 egg plus 1 egg yolk, a tablespoon of vanilla extract, 1 3/4 cup or 220 grams of all-purpose flour, 3/4 teaspoon of baking soda, and 3/4 teaspoon of salt, and 1 1/2 cups of semi-sweet chocolate. So to get started, we have browned our butter in the pan, in the bowl. It's brown butter, and using unsalted, for the brown butter, we use unsalted butter, which allows you to control the salt in the cookies. And using semi-sweet chocolate allows for a rich contrast of flavor for the cookies, and it balances out the sweetness. So a couple of hours before, you will take out the eggs and let them come to room temperature, and starting off with how to make the cookies. So this is the brown sugar and granulated sugar. You will put that in there in your mixing bowl, and then you will add in 1 egg and 1 egg yolk at its room temp, and you will add in your brown butter. And to make the brown butter, you will, in a small saucepan over low to medium heat, you're going to melt the butter and brown your butter. You will want to stir this with a spatula so it won't burn. You will know it's brown when you start to see mild, solid, when you'll see milk solids turn dark. It will also have a slight nutty smell. And once you do this, you are going to let the butter cool, according to BakerBetty.com. So we're just gonna pour that in, it's already cooled. And you want it to be cooled so that the butter will not curdle the eggs. So then we're gonna flip that up, pour in our tablespoon of vanilla, and we're gonna let this mix until everything is fully combined. The next step is to add in our flour, baking soda, and salt, which I've already pre-measured out. I'm just gonna add that in a little at a time, and let that mix on a slow speed. you're going to do is you're going to add the chocolate chips. And you're not going to stir the chocolate chips in with the mixer. You're actually going to put them in with a spatula. The key to making these cookies is to not overmix. So then we're just going to fold that in to the dough. And the next step you're going to do is you're going to scoop the cookies with a custom scoop onto our baking pan. So we're going to scoop those cookies like this. You just scoop it and plop them down. And you're going to repeat this step until all the cookie dough is on the pan. And then you're going to want to put the cookies in a freezer for at least 30 minutes before baking, which allows the cookies to stay together when you bake them. And while they are setting up in the freezer, you're going to cut the oven to 350 and you're going to let them bake for about 13 to 14 minutes. And the best tip for getting the perfect cookie is to underbake them slightly because they will cook more on the pan. Then let the cookies cool and enjoy. Today I showed you the preparations, utensils, ingredients, and step to making a chocolate chip cookie. I hope this speech inspires you to start baking more. Thanks for listening.